Hello, so we are finishing up interim test number 1. We're finishing up questions 13 and 14, and we have another wonderful class here with us. So again, given question 13's, given x and y are rational numbers. That means any number that is not irrational. Irrational was like pi, or a pattern, or a non-perfect square root. When is the absolute value of x minus y equal to the absolute value of x by itself minus the absolute value of y? So we had to test out all sorts of situations. First we tested out with 5 and 7. So we did 5 minus 7 is going to be the absolute value of negative 2, which is 2. Absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of 7, that would be 5 minus 7, that's negative 2. So that means it doesn't work. So we realized this is always true. Forget that one. Then we tried it with 5 minus 3, and that was 2 and 2. So it did equal. 2 does equal 2. Check. So now we know that it is never true is out also. Both of those are out. Be sure you're copying these down. Now, this is sometimes true was a question mark we weren't sure about, and this is true when x and y have the same sign. Well, it's one of these two, so we're down to a 50-50 shot. Whenever you can narrow your choices down to less, that increases your probability of getting it right. Let me have all focus, please. So if you can eliminate some answers you know that are wrong, you're taking your chances down and making it more likely that you're going to get your answer right. So we know it's either C or D. So now we have to test D. It's true when x and y have the same sign. So I started off with x being negative 5 and y being negative 7. So this is negative negative, so that's turned into a positive. That is equal to positive 2. Absolute value of positive 2 is 2. Absolute value of negative 5 is 5 minus absolute value of negative 7 is 7. That's going to be negative 2. These do not equal each other. So this one is out. Sometimes it's true. Well, let me test one last thing. What if the second number was smaller than the first number? Well, this is negative 5 plus 3. That's going to be negative 2. Absolute value is 2. 5, 3, 5 minus 3, 2. Yep, this one also works. So the best thing I can contrive here is it works sometimes. Definitely not always. Definitely not never. It's sometimes true. It is not true when the x and the y have the same sign. So that one is out. So this one that was looking questionable is the only actual right answer. So that's the one to pick, choice C. Okay, question 14, last one for this interim test, then we're going to go to interim test number 2. What two numbers are located exactly 8/5 units from the point negative 2/5? Drag and drop points A and B to plot the location of these numbers on the number line below. Okay, well here we have a number line and it's got, lucky for us, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next number. So each of these, what is each little piece going to equal? If one is chopped up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, each one is worth what? Take your best guess. Say it out loud. 1 divided by 5. Each part is worth 1/5. 1/5. Good. So let's write this. This is going to be 1/5. This is going to be 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. Put away the money or you've donated it. 1 is equal to 5/5. That makes sense. 5/5 does equal 1. Okay, I think we're cruising along just fine. On this side, negative 1/5, negative 2/5, negative 3/5, negative 4/5. 1 is going to be negative 5/5. That makes sense. That's negative 1. What would come after negative 5/5? What would be after negative 5/5, you guys? Negative what? Negative 6/5, right, negative 6/5. Negative 7/5, negative 8/5. Okay, now let's go back now that we have some numbers. Let's remember the question. What two numbers are located exactly 8/5 units from the point negative 2/5? Okay, so first we got to figure out that point. Negative 2/5 is right here. This is where we're going. Now we need to figure out who is 8/5 units away. Well, each one of these things is 1/5, right? So how many jumps would we have to do to get 8/5? Each one is 1/5. So how many jumps would it be for 8/5? How many jumps? Not 7 jumps. 8 jumps. Yes. So now we're going to jump both directions 8 times. And that's where we're going to place the A and the B. So everybody draw your own number line right now if you haven't drawn it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh, we don't have a number there. What would come after 5/5? 6/5. Cool. And they said we're going to slide and drag. So we're going to take this, click on it, drag it up to here, and it would land right like this. B is pointing right here at 6/5. Everybody understand how to drag and put that right like that? Yes. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go the other way. 1, 2. How many jumps did I have to do? 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, where does it land?
At the end.
Can you see it? Sorry. Where does it land? -2. Cool. So we're going to take this guy, drag this guy up here, draw it. This is A, and it's pointing right at -2. And we're done. Okay, it's time to move on to interim test number 2. Interim test number 2. Yeah, good job. Woohoo! Give it up for yourselves. Woohoo! All right. Okay, interim test number 2 is cast practice again. This is helping make sure that you are awesome. Which of the tables show a proportional relationship between the X and the Y values? Choose the 2 correct answers. First thing I'm going to do, double underline 2. How many do we have to choose? 2. Is it okay if we just choose 1? No. So out of these 4 choices, how many are yes and how many are no?
2.
2 are yes and 2 are no. Okay, I want you to look at them, and then I want you to turn and talk to your math mates. What do you know about proportional relationships? It has to do 2 things. Talk with your math mate. What happens to happen with a proportional relationship? Okay, it's time for glory. I shall name you by your hand. Diego, what's one of the things that a proportional relationship has? It must cross through 0, 0. And what else? Aiden?
Has to be a straight line.
Has to be a straight line. Okay, so that's my picture. Pass through 0, 0. And it has to be a straight line. Okay, which ones of these do we think does that? Look at choice A. 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 16, 5, 25. What do you think is happening every time to the X? What's happening, Caden?
It's a multiple of the other.
Yes, they take the first number and they multiply it by itself. Do you remember what it's called when you take a number and multiply it by itself? You're taking it to the second power. And there's a cute little name. What's it called if you're taking it to the next second power? It's exponents, but it would be what? To the power of 2 is going to be squared. Exactly. So actually this one, y equals x squared. And if ever you see y equals x squared, this actually graphs out to be a parabola shape. It's going to look like this. So this is not it. You could graph it out, check it for yourself, but that's not going to work out. Okay, look at choice B. 1, 3, 2, 6, 3, 9, 4, 12, 5, 15. That looks good to me. But just because I have these boards, handy dandy. This is not my right board. Here it is. Okay, so if we were going to graph this very quickly, you guys help me out. 1, 3. Which way do I go first? Here's 0, 0. So I'm going to go, if it's 1, 3, graphing dance, which way do you go first?
Right.
Over, then what? Up and down. So if it's 1, 3, I'm going to go over 1, up 3. Put it up. Thank you. Over 1, up 3. Next one, 2, 6. What am I going to do? Say it out loud. Over 2 and up 6. Okay, these look pretty good. Remember, we have to have a point here to make it true. Has to cross through 0, 0. But it looks pretty good. Next one, 3, 9. Tell me what I'm going to do. Say it out loud. Over 3 and up 9. Over 3 and up 9. This looks really good so far. 4, 12. What do I do? Over 4. Say it out loud. Over 4 and up 12. That looks good. And then we're going to be off the board. So let's just keep going. Does this make a straight line? And would it cross through 0, 0?
Yes.
Yes. So is this a function? Yes. Is this a proportional relationship? Yes. So I need you to write, this is a function. Write this on your board. And it is a proportional relationship. Write this on your paper. Sketch it out as a line crossing through 0, 0. It's a function and it's a proportional relationship.
Do we have to do the whole thing or can we just do the line?
Your choice.
Okay.
Okay, so this one looks good to us. Check. We graphed it, we checked it. Okay, now we have C and D. One of them is going to be a yes, one of them is going to be a no. Talk to your mathmates. Which one do you think, just looking at, looks like a yes, and which one do you think looks like a no? Without doing work, just look at it. Which one do you think is a yes, which one do you think is a no? Talk to your mathmates. Okay, C. Do you think this is a function, yes or no?
No.
D. Do you think it's a function, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to look at it again. The answer is C. Look at the numbers. 2 with 1, 4 with 2, 6 with 3. What are we doing every single time to the x value to get the y? Divided by 2, or you could multiply it by 1/2. It's your choice. Y is equal half of x. But is there anything we can do to x here to get to y? They're adding 1. Adding is not a function thing that's going to show up properly. If we graphed these, and we're going to, will it pass through 0, 0? And will it make a straight line? First numbers are 2, 3. What do I do for 2, 3? You guys tell me. Over 2, up 3. Good. What about 4, 5? Over 4, up 5.
Over 5.
No, I don't want to put there. I want to be like, does it go through that? Do you understand? Like a target goal? Cool. 6, 7. Tell me what I do. Over 6, up 7. We skipped a couple, but it's still going to be okay. Over 6, up 7. Okay. Next one. 8, 9. Over 8, up 9.
That's not looking right.
Yeah, I messed up somewhere, didn't I? Okay, double checking my points. Over 2, up 3, that one's good. Over 4, uh-oh, I messed up here. I went over only up 3. So this one was wrong. Over 4, up 5. This one's here. Over 6, up 7, that one's right. And over 8, up 9, this one's right. Okay, so when your dots don't look right, it may just be you're not lined up properly. But is this going to go through 0, 0? No. Sketch it out. It's going to miss it. So, this is a no. And now we know.